everybody, it's your old friend Oxtail coming back to you again for another reaction. Today we're still doing Red versus Blue. We're going to do a suggestion by one of my wonderful subscriber, Geek Goddess. You're an awesome individual. She recommended me do the retrospective from EruptionFang to kind of get an idea. So this yeah, we'll just check it out, see how it goes, and kind of go from there. I'm looking forward to it, kind of learn a little bit more about this world. I've heard a lot of great things about Red versus Blue. Just never taken the time to actually sit down and watch it. But before I get started, love to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me, and to everyone that watches my videos, thank you so much for tuning in once again. Let's get this started.
Is one of the most important aspects when it comes to creation. It can lead others to make movies, shows, or even their own online videos. In the mid to late 90s, Bernie Burns attended the University of Texas in the city of Austin. He was going to major in pre-medicine, however came to realize it wasn't the path he wished to pursue, and due to the rise of the internet at that time, switched majors to computer science. While attending the university, he was inspired by a film director 2 years ahead of himself named Robert Rodriguez, who would go on to make El Mariachi. Inspired by Rodriguez's accomplishment in the independent film industry, Bernie wished to follow his path, create a movie of his very own. However, no classes made films, they only taught about making them. So Bernie decided the best way to learn how to make a movie was to make a movie. And so he sought out someone who would help him with this goal. He met two people named Matt Hullum and Joel Heyman, and in 1998, the three of them made a movie of their very own, which would be named The Schedule.
Wow.
Look, everybody's got to do something, okay? Just so happens to be our job to do it.
No, it's not. I mean, come on, we kill people.
The plot centered around a character played by Joel Heyman who works as an assistant for a very meticulous man. Joel's job was to keep track and maintain all of his calendars, his schedule. Over time, Joel's character learns that he's working for the Grim Reaper, and he begins to trust Joel's character more and more, so he sends him out to take care of some of his appointments. The film took 13 months to make, however making the film was only the first hurdle. Getting a movie to be viewed in a film festival is almost as hard as creating a film itself. The film wasn't viewed by many due to these difficulties, and everybody moved on. Matt and Joel moved to LA to pursue careers elsewhere, and Bernie got a job at a telenetwork company. In 2002, three co-workers and friends who worked at this telenetwork company would create and release a video to their website, drunkgamers.com, where they would get their very first taste at a viral hit.
The confusing thing about PCs is just, you go to the store, and there's just so many games. I mean, everywhere you look. But on the Mac, there's just 6.
Bernie Burns, Jeff Ramsey, and Gus Sorolla, who all worked at an internet service provider company, had experienced what the internet was capable of and the mass audience it could reach. Drunk Gamers, while not the first website they had, was the most popular. Before that, they had Ugly Internet, which made fun of websites that didn't look aesthetically pleasing, and Drunk Gamers was all about reviewing games while drunk. However, it was just deployed to try and get video games from companies early and free. This concept did not work as well as they would have liked, as they only ever received one video game.
Oh, wow.
The three all shared an interest in a game that was released on November 15, 2001, known as Halo. The game followed an advanced space marine known as Master Chief and his AI Cortana. Master Chief was a soldier in the Great War against aliens known as the Covenant. However, it was the multiplayer aspect which drew the audience's attention, and many critics considered to be one of the best multiplayer games of all time. While praised by the masses, the game lacked one key feature: online multiplayer. Xbox Live was not launched until about 1 year after the game's debut. Despite Halo breaking all kinds of sales records across the board, Bernie had an idea unlike he thought anyone had seen before. One of the things that Bernie used to write about on Drunk Gamers was the Xbox, and considering the console's best game was Halo, he wrote and made videos about the game frequently and eventually made weekly tip videos for their website. Drunk Gamers, however, was a website meant to be about comedy, and these videos were the only thing on the website that weren't intended to be funny. He then had an idea to take these characters in multiplayer and manipulate them by giving them voices to create skits. And in August of 2002, he had created a trailer for a series that he would call Red vs. Blue.
There was a brief but violent period of civil war among humans. Man fighting man. Red versus blue. This is the story of the... What is that? What are you doing? Well, don't paraphrase. Don't... Look, I read what's in the script, and you type whatever I say, okay?
Teasing that episodes were coming soon, the group had done nothing with it and left it alone as only an idea. The website Drunk Gamers was eventually retired as the three had inevitably gotten bored of it. The entirety of Rooster Teeth's existence could have ended there. However, the editors for a magazine known as Computer Gaming World had adored the Apple Switch parody the three had done and wished to put it in their PC gaming magazine. Over time, everything was eventually published and even more traffic was going to be driven to the now retired Drunk Gamers website. Instead of letting this large amount of attention that was being given to them go to waste, they had decided to take that Red vs. Blue idea and attempt to go through with that. They registered redvsblue.com, added a link to the new parody video, and began work on creating the episodes as teased. And on April 1st, 2003, the first episode of Red vs. Blue was released, and Rooster Teeth was officially formed.
You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence, or is there really a God watching everything?
Seeking a name for their company, the group had thought that a line from the trailer in which the narrator gets into an argument with someone and then calls them a cockbite would be funny, as many of the audience had latched onto that line.
Take that off, because that is, for number one, that's offensive, and secondly, I am not a cockbite. Seriously, I am not a cockbite. That is rude.
However, naming a company Cockbite Productions, while funny, would raise eyebrows for many people, and the group didn't want credit card charges and checks from Cockbite Productions. So they changed the words into something that mean the same, but say something different, and thus Rooster Teeth Productions was born.
No, I mean, like, why are we even bothering with the video?
Well,
I mean, like,
because you never know. I mean, it might be funny. I mean, this video is actually pretty interesting looking, and, you know, if it's popular enough, you never know.
we're making a
behind the scenes, yeah.
With the release of the first episode of Red vs. Blue, the episode had immediately reached levels of popularity that Drunk Gamers had never achieved. Being linked on such sites such as Slashdot, Penny Arcade, and Fark, Red vs. Blue was a hit with video game fans all over, being downloaded upwards of 20,000 times. This style of taking a video game and making their own unique story was unheard of to Rooster Teeth, and so they labeled what they were calling Render Vision. Little did they know at the time that there was already a name for this art form, known as machinima. In 1996, the game Quake was released and was the successor to 1993 game's Doom. Quake offered new opportunities for both gameplay and customization and allowed players to watch demos of their matches, thus making the game more cinematic. On October 26, 1996, a well-known gaming clan known as the Rangers surprised everyone with a short that they had called Diary of a Camper.
Report.
This was the first well-known instance of a machinimated video. The term machinima is meant to represent machine and cinema into one. However, Rooster Teeth would be unaware of this fact for a while longer. With how popular the first episode was with people, the second one was even bigger, seeing upwards of 250,000 downloads. And as episodes went on, upwards of 750,000 on each episode. Despite the huge numbers Rooster Teeth was seeing, one thing they weren't seeing was money. Rooster Teeth were paying upwards of $6,000 to pay for server fees to keep the videos up. So, desperate to reduce costs to their server fees, Bernie bought a computer which he installed at the company he worked at and leached off them to serve up downloads. Needless to say, this didn't work as it wasn't the most discreet addition. Continuing to seek ways to cut the cost of server fees, RT decided to go with a BitTorrent service, which was a lot cheaper. However, instructions were needed on how to use it. Inspired by what they saw Penny Arcade doing with their site, Rooster Teeth decided to add a donate button to their site, allowing the audience to support them, and it worked.
So we turned on the service, and we were at our day job. We went to lunch, and I said, we're not going to think about it. We're just going to lunch, and we'll come back, and we'll see if anybody's done this. And get a call at lunch, and it was my buddy George, and he said, hey, what is the password on your laptop? And I said, why? And he said, because we need to turn your laptop off. It's making this noise. And he held the phone up to the laptop, and this is exactly what I heard.
Oh, Nice.
They progressed on to add a subscription model which would set the audience to pay a certain amount for the year and allowed them to access their episodes early. To this day, that model continues to work for them successfully.
Nice.
Despite Red vs. Blue having lasted over 15 years, the series was originally meant to be over after only 6 to 8 episodes. The amount of attention and popularity the show had gained led everyone to continue on with the show. One of the biggest and potentially dangerous hurdles that stood in Rooster Teeth's way was Bungie. Rooster Teeth was uncertain how the creators of Halo would respond to a group of people making a show and profiting off it for themselves. Fortunately for everyone, Bungie approved of it. The game developers weren't fully aware of the unexpected use for their game, but they were perfectly fine with it. Due to the
Nice.
series' extreme popularity, Bungie had implemented a way for soldiers to lower their guns to make it easier for more future machinimators. In the original Halo, it was a bug that allowed soldiers to lower their weapons, but later turned into a feature. Rooster Teeth's relationship with Bungie continued to grow from there, even making cameo appearances in later Halo installments.
What's the password?
Password? Oh man, I forgot.
Forgot what?
I forgot the password.
See, that was almost right. See, the password begins with I forgot, but ends differently. Try again.
No, I mean, I forgot the password.
Much like Halo itself, the community is what kept the show going, fans latching themselves onto these characters, always seeking for more stories to be told. Rooster Teeth has always indulged themselves into the wants of their community. As long as people keep watching the series, they'll keep making it. Next time, we take a look at a series that took the anime world by surprise, Ruby.
Ruby!
Thank you for watching the Red
I might
vs.
actually
Blue
check that out.
Retrospective.
Jeez, that was cool. Wow, what a just interesting story. Just to learn a little bit more about where this small company came out of. I'm actually gonna check out that retrospective on Ruby. I'd like to know a little bit more how Ruby came, because I had questions. I don't know, like, did it all just come from Monty? Did it all come from him, or was it a collaboration? That would be actually kind of interesting to learn more about that. So that will probably be my next reaction. So wow, what an amazing thing! Just to because back in the '90s, like they were saying, I was a '90s kid. I grew up during that whole boom of the internet and how videos were being distributed. BitTorrent was such a big thing. We had LimeWire. I don't know if anyone remembers LimeWire. Yeah, and torrent sites that would allow you to download stuff, and yeah, that was just from them to kind of keep growing. I wonder, when I get to when I get to RTX, I'm gonna ask them, was there ever a point that they said, we're not 100% sure if this is gonna work, or they ever had thoughts of actually just saying, I don't know if we're gonna go through with this, or if they ever thought about giving up. Did they ever think, hey, we're not gonna do anything, especially early on like that with so many unknowns, like with Bungie and with how the internet responded to it. But man, that just tells you how well their stuff was being created, and that everyone had an interest for it. And that dollar sign, that dollar sound, the cash register, beautiful, beautiful. Well, folks, that's going to end this reaction, but I'm going to go ahead and do my reaction to Red versus Blue, since that is my primary thing for today. So I wanted to go ahead and throw this up, and then I'll be getting to Red versus Blue today. So I hope you enjoy that as well. So thank you so much. I will see you in a few seconds from this video to the next video. So peace out. Shabam bam. Uh-oh.